to um, establish that relationship that God wants with you. Um, it is holy and sanctified, and it's not going to be the way that you imagine. Matter of fact, I don't have favor where I want it. There are places and people that I would like to have favor. I just don't have it. But I have favor where I need it. And if you don't mix the two together, then you equal up to an unhappy person because you want a heaven world now. And God didn't just give us happiness, He gave us joy. And joy through adversity. I wouldn't trade it for nothing. Second Thessalonians 3, you're dealing with everybody. If it's possible, God would like for us to live peaceable with everybody, if it's possible. So living for God, sometimes you have to live and work and be around unreasonable people. 2 Thessalonians 1 through 3, read.
Wherefore we
2 Thessalonians 3 and 1. It's on your email that I sent to you all. Finally, brethren, pray for us that the word of the Lord may have free course and be glorified even as it is with you, and that we may be delivered from unreasonable and wicked men. For all men have not faith, but the Lord is faithful, who shall establish you and keep you from evil. So just because you encounter people that are contrary, don't mean that you have to be miserable. Don't mean that you have to be unhappy. You have to go to a place in God, and it's alone, but it's not lonely. But there are people that literally want attention from people, and they prefer attention from people more than the attention from God. The greatest love of all is with us and chasing after us, and they desire attention and love. When you deal with somebody and they're not cooperating, God say, I'm there. But when a person is just determined, I want this right here to work, I want this to be the way I want it to be, then you end up a miserable person. I want to be saved more than anything. So when you encounter a contrariness and so forth, you have to adjust. It's your job. So living for God, Romans 12 is on your emails if you have it. The first verse.
I beseech ye therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies as a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
So living for God, God wants a living sacrifice. But when you're a person, I mean, you live for God the way you want to. You come here and you come with a camouflage. You come to church camouflaged. You got on the proper attire. You just look like it. You got your head covering on. You got everything on. You in the proper attire, but it's just a camouflage in the reality of life because you refuse. You got to get that desire to old self and friends, family, what you want. Jesus said, deny yourself, pick up your cross and follow me. And you're going to end up, you'll have an unhappy life, you'll have an unhappy marriage. I don't care how much you try to live off that thing you call love and so forth, you're going to be just as miserable because you tried to do it without his will. You know, I have helped people who looked at me and thought that I was so hard, you know, and they felt when they got married, they knew what to do. Everything that I did do or didn't do. And they was there. They cooked. They did all this stuff, presents and all this other stuff, and end up just as ragged as I don't know what. And because you ain't finna live off of that. I did all of that stuff. I had a high calling in my life. And I had to be the minister to people, to counsel people, to be a marriage counselor and so forth. And you don't do that stuff by just going to school and reading no books and so forth. And then you're going to teach, you're going to have marriage counseling and so forth. You're going to be that way because you're going to survive. That's how you're going to marriage counselor. You're going to be a counselor to someone. You ain't going to either, because all your little candy buying and all your little stuff, they're going to boil down to you, somebody going to be in sin. And you're going to find out sin and God don't agree. Why? Because you did all that trying to, now, you do the things that the Bible says. He that is married is supposed to please the one that is married. But the Bible says there are some unreasonable people. Okay, what you do. And then you got to make a choice. I'm gonna do what God said do. I can do what God said do, but I'm gonna stick. You got to always keep that attachment to God. You got to always, if you do something at home, you help us over. Because just in case things don't turn the way you want it to turn, I still got my thing with God, so my world ain't going to pieces. I ain't finna let that go for no. Don't you let your relationship go for nobody. Because you're going to have to fall back on that when things ain't right on your job, in your home, in your church, in your body, in your mind. Only thing you're going to have to fall back on, I got me something going on with God. Because you don't know, you don't have to live off somebody else's unhappiness and sin. I'm not finna pay for another person's being miserable, trying to make me miserable. I'm not finna pay for another person's sin and want me to pay for it. If you decide to go that route, then that's your route. My job is I got to keep what I got with God, whether you with it or not. Tell somebody I got to live for God. Got to live for God regardless, because I don't have no choice. When God revealed to you that you ain't got, God ain't got your last name, God ain't your supervisor on your job, God in your church, and he really sitting next to you, because God inside the person. Suppose the person is unreasonable. Suppose that person don't care nothing about God's will. You got to still have something with God. You ain't going to teach this stuff. You ain't going to live this stuff. You ain't going to help nobody else. One brother came to me, well, the reason why you go through so much in your home is you don't remember anniversary dates. You don't remember chocolate candy and Valentine's Day and all that other stuff. And man, them folks got on my nerves. I said, look at what all you do. Now, you a pastor. You a bishop in another organization, just like me. And you know anniversary dates, you know about candy, chocolate candy, telling me all this other stuff and so forth. I said, look at your church. Now let's be real. As a pastor, as a bishop, you want to have peace in your home and you do things and so forth. But what it boiled down to, our desire is for souls to be saved. Our desire is to be able to, as a bishop, you want to go and labor and have a bishop's work. Not just to go around and talk about I got chocolate candy and you got 10 people in the church and you call yourself a bishop. You got one church with 10 people. And you drive to your house, it's all big and beautiful. Drive to your church, it look like a little pup. Then is that success? Maybe it's success to him because he got it good in his house. But on the kingdom, what is God looking at? With your chocolate candy and your pagan holidays and mess. And all them gifts you buy. Santa Claus gonna take you to hell anyhow. So I don't sum up as success and happiness is because you got everything together in the natural and you ain't got nothing going on in the kingdom. Because what God deal with us about, what you doing for me, and that's the same thing he gonna deal with you with down the road. You can look at all that stuff you got at your house, you can look at all them cars and that money you got and so forth. Then he gonna come to you one day and say, what you done for me? Amen. Then you can brag about your house, your family, your children, your money, your this. You can have this and that. I'm blessed. Hallelujah. Home and spiritually. Because I don't let family control what I call joy and peace and happiness. It's not determined by my wife, my children, my grandchildren. They're not determined by that. I just tell everybody the truth. If you do it, fine. If you don't do it, fine. I still got me something going on with Jesus. Tell somebody, keep your thing with Jesus. We drop it and then you all down because home ain't right, marriage ain't right, money ain't right, all that stuff. I'm finna keep my peace with Jesus. You happy because you walk in the house, you happy because they happy. You walk in the house, you miserable because they miserable. I could care less. I got me something going on with Jesus, living for God. He'll talk to me anytime. I don't have to get on my knees. I don't have to wait until 12 o'clock. I don't have to wait till 6 a.m. I can talk to him anytime. You go in that room, Byron came in there this morning, I was in my room, TV on with no sound, playing that music there, and I'm sitting in the room, and you don't know where I'm at. I ain't into the TV because there ain't no sound on it. I'm playing prayer music, and I'm sitting there by myself, but I'm not alone. If you go by what you see, y'all don't want to stay in my house? You say, Bishop crazy. I'm in a room by myself, TV on, no sound on, prayer music on, and I'm sitting there. You might walk in there when I'm holding a conversation, saying, Lord, I thank you. I'm so glad you saved me. I love you for just keeping me. You kept me against my will. You strengthened me when I was weak. And even when I thought I was walking with you, I wasn't walking with you. You was carrying me. It never been me. It been always you. I don't want you to be around when I get intimate with him. When I get intimate with him, and so forth, and then when I come to church, and then a baby is born, and then you looking crazy. Because, man, we have some anointed services, and I start looking around, discerning spirits. Some people be full of themselves and the devil. You can see it. You better not say nothing to them. Especially anointed service. And when you get through casting out some demons, you got to get ready to fight some demons. Y'all love the Lord? Tell somebody, I'm trying to live for God. I'm living for God, and it ain't what you think in the natural. You know, these folks get married and say, well, I done made it. You know, the single people want to be married. The married people, for the first 6 months, they on cloud 9. And then reality slapped them in the face. Wait a minute, I still need Jesus. You know, man, you wake up, you find out the person you with ain't what you thought. One sister, I was down there in Sebring, And I heard them, a couple out there arguing outside, and this one of them said to the other, I didn't even know you was like this. And I said, then I got married. I told that brother, I said, that ain't none of your wife. You know, and he, well, I love her. And there was two members of the church. That was back in the 1990s. I said, that ain't none of your wife. He said, I love her. I said, I want to marry. He said, what her name is? I said, what? He didn't know how to pronounce her name. Her name was Destiny. Destine. I said, boy, you don't even know her name. I said, that ain't none of your wife, but I love her. And he married her in a way. And I was about 2 weeks later, it was outside arguing. They said, I didn't even know you were like this. I didn't know. They didn't want to listen to the pastor. They stayed together a few months after that, separated, divorced, and backslidden. Both of them. They didn't want to listen because they went off of fleshly desires. They didn't want to listen to the pastor. I want to live for God. And if I don't know nothing about this in life, you born again. You don't know. I need somebody to give me some instructions who know about this life. Somebody who can see what I can't see right now and feel what I can't feel right now. All the people in this church, in this southern district that listen to me, you can see it in their life. And the ones that don't listen to me, they're some of the most miserable people that's in our district. They're unhappy. Ain't nothing you can do to make them happy because they won't listen to the instructions. Y'all love the Lord? Tell somebody I want to live for God. Romans 12:3, what it say?
For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think.
It's a dangerous thing for you to think more highly of yourself than you ought to. I don't care what you think, what level you're supposed to be on. What is your life saying to us? What is your life saying to God? What level you're supposed to be on? And one of the brothers told me last night, said, I feel God really did something for me. You know, I said, well, I thank the Lord. He did something for you. I said, but we're going to see it in your life. You got your good feeling in prayer. That's wonderful. And I believe you. God came and touched you and everything. But let's see, did it come in your heart? Is this word in your heart? So what are you going to do? If that word come in your heart, then you ain't going to sin against that. So it ain't all about just a feeling only. And I believe when we come, and these anointed prayers we have, I believe God doing something for everybody. But is it going in your heart? How in the world you can come out of an anointed environment and still be mean? How can you come out of an anointed environment still thinking evil? How can you come out of an anointed environment want somebody who's killing you? Byron was telling me about a dream he had. He was playing with some, you don't mind me telling you about it? He was playing, what you playing? He was playing with some people, and he was winning. And then all of a sudden, they went shooting at him. And I said, don't take that dream lightly. And you start living for God, you start living, and then God started elevating you. The people that you grow up with, if they ain't with it, they're gonna start jugging at you. Your brothers and sisters right among you will start jugging. People on your job will start jugging. People in your own family will start jugging. Why? Because you deep now. Somebody said something to Shanice because she was doing what I told her to do, and then I said, look here, you start doing what I said do, people gonna despise you. You'll be surprised these people around here don't do. Oh, you deep. Oh, you think you bishop. You listening to the bishop. And what they're telling you, I don't listen to him. I don't do all that stuff he said do. You got to know who to sanctify yourself. Why? Because you sit here, you think you got all your little plans. You got all your little personal plans that what you call success, but is that success to God? Because through it all, I want to still be happy. You know, you the rest of your life with somebody, and then you will sit here and be miserable. Well, I got to be like this the rest of my life. No, you're going to be unhappy by yourself. I'm going to be connected to Jesus, and I know where I get my love from. I know where I get my peace from. I know where I get my happiness from. You need to know when somebody don't want this. How do you think two people can be in the bed, one raptured and one not raptured? Two working in the field, one raptured, one not raptured. Somebody who's saved learn how to live around people who not saved. You keep bothering with people about truth, and they keep rejecting it. All you're doing is tearing up a relationship. Look at him. Just go ahead and live your life. They done showed you they don't want the son. Why you keep irritating them? You irritating people about this. Why? You think you're going to take a spoon and ram it down their throat? I'm sorry. They don't want what you got. Somewhere down the road, you got to face it. They don't want to go as far as you gone. They don't want what you got. Matter of fact, you got to be careful because they want you. They don't even want you to have what you have. You need to weed out and determine these folks. I know who I can share this with because they keep showing interest. I know who I can just say, leave them alone. Just have them, just be natural with them. But sit here and keep teaching somebody something and they arguing with me. Sharing truth with somebody and they rejecting it. Leave them alone. You say, unreasonable. Then all you doing, I said to myself, just enjoy life with them. And why? Because this thing, when I talk about this higher heights and deeper depths, it irritates them. You need to determine when you are badgering folks. You keep bothering them about so you can show it. I put it on Facebook. We had a time, man, people don't care about you showing something in no Bible. If their feelings and their emotions feel above that, then I don't care what the Bible says. They're going to do what they want to do. I'm telling you something that I live. I don't care nothing about you quoting those scriptures. This is the way I feel. I feel God ain't like that. God don't want you to be alone. God don't want you to do that. You ain't got to do all that. They say that kind of stuff. You ain't got to do all that. Are you taking food from the master's table and trying to give it to a dog? You need to know when you're trying to feed a dog. Quit trying to give master's food to a dog and let a dog, what dog eat? Dog food. Dog will eat some bones that's left over. They don't want the meat. God wants you to eat the meat. The dog just wants the bone. Now, when Jesus called that woman a dog, you know what she said? Even the dogs eat the, she said first, truth, Lord. She said, you ain't lying. If that dog don't admit that they're a dog, they can't eat. Jesus said, I'm going to take meat from the master's table and give it to a dog. She said, truth, Lord. But even the dogs eat the crumbs from the master's table. Yeah, I'm a dog, but I can eat them crumbs from the master's table. Give them to me. They don't want to admit. You're dealing with folks who think they're self-righteous. You're dealing with folks who think they're right and they're wrong. They live off of their emotions. They live off of their feelings. They're some of the most miserable people in the church. Everything is based on what they want, what they feel. It's some people ain't going but so far. You know, I know who in the church going so far, you know, and I try to bring these brothers around me So you won't just go so far and stop. Because if you go so far with certain people, when you start trying to go above them, then they finna attack you. So I put you around me. You go high as you want. You get the big head, I know how to bust it. I got a pen. Just pat you right on the head, bust that, blow all the air out. Just, you know. Well, Byron was ready to preach watch night. He was ready, he was ready to get up there and cut up. I said, well, he'll be good for next year watch night. He'll be just right. Bill went through something and got blessed in 2019. Him and Leo turned loose. You know. Y'all love the Lord? Tell the Lord, thank you, Jesus. I want to be saved. And you're going to find out you can't please everybody. Look at the life of a Christian. Romans 12 and 9. Go back. It's in your email, 12 and 9. Read.
Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil. Cleave to that which is good. Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love, and honor preferring one another.
Now, if you take this emotion only in your house, only with your family, only with your friends, then your reward is what they give back in return. But what's going to happen down the road, even some of them going to give you something negative. Be kindly affectionate. If you're going to take your affection and just point it at your family, your friends, who you like, then your reward, you don't get no reward from God. You get your reward what they gave back to you. And what he's saying, one to another. Mind you, he's not talking about your kinfolk. He's talking about his family. Tell somebody, God talking about me. So be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love and honoring and preferring one another. You're not talking about your kinfolk. He's talking about your church brothers and sisters. Read 11th verse.
Not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer, distributing to the necessity of saints, giving to hospitality. Bless them which persecute you, bless and curse not. Okay, bless them which persecute you, bless and curse not. You can't respond to them. Talking about your brothers and sisters now. You can't respond to them the way they respond to you. Curse not. Read. I ain't talking about cursing. You can live a life where you curse a person. You're just mean, you're just hateful, you're just nasty. 15th verse. Rejoice with them that do rejoice, and weep with them that weep.
Learn how to be around the right people. Rejoice with them that do rejoice, and weep with them that do weep. Okay, if you're over here crying all the time, I'm finna go in and cry with you for a minute, and I'm finna go. I ain't finna sit up here and be weeping with you every day. You know, so this ain't right. I get over there for you 1 minute, I say, okay, well, I'm praying for you, and I'm keep going. Let me go over here and find somebody who want to praise God. What is it, 16th verse?
Be of the same mind, one toward another. Mind not high things, but condescend to men of lower estate. Be not wise in your own conceits. Recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. Now, I highlighted this because you saw earlier that they're unreasonable people. They're unreasonable people. You say, if it be possible. So what you're going to attempt to do, I'm going to attempt. Do not let someone tell you how another person is and you never gave them a chance for yourself. Don't let nobody come and just say, Bro Leo is crooked, and you ain't never got to know Bro Leo for yourself. You just went off of what they said. Don't let somebody put their poison in you. Now, if you establish a relationship with the person, and then the poison manifested, then you know that person telling the truth. But just because another person don't like another person don't mean they're going to be like that with you.
And a lot of people cut folks off because they get there, and then if you hang with that type of person, they're gonna despise everybody you embrace that they have a problem with. Eventually, they're gonna go talk about you too. So I'm gonna let nobody come and tell me something about a person. You know, I know y'all. You know, ain't nobody gotta come tell me about you. I already know you. But if the Lord tell me to tell you don't hang around that person, you supposed to just do it. Because I know something you don't know. I know something you don't know. And I understand why some people that certain people come around, they don't want them around them. They don't want them around them. And a lot of times I be protecting people. Ain't nobody controlling nothing but God with me. Sometimes I know, let me get this person from around this person. Because they want to kill them. But they ain't running nothing. So they're going to get their reward down the road. If I chose to embrace somebody and help them, and then a person chose to be evil with them, I know it's murder inside of them. And now I got to protect this person from this murderer. Well, what's murder in God? Huh? Who that first one said? Somebody over there. Who? What I said? See, I figured it was one of them young people. Y'all be sitting there thinking them young people don't be listening. Like one of them kids over there said it first. They be over there, they sleep with one ear closed and one ear open. You know, I went on and tapped Junior on the shoulder yesterday. Said, get on over here. They had them 4 brothers go over there and pray. And Junior something happened over there praying with them brothers. I said, what happened? I don't know, but it feel good. Something happened over there. I'm over there with them brothers. Something happened over there. And it's good, too. Something happened to me. I said, okay, Junior, good. I'm going to see it in your life now. But make sure you ain't stealing no cookies. Not any cookie, Oreo cookies. What them kind of like? What your hand got them hooked on them, too? What them kind your hand like? But it was a certain type. What it was? What she said? And he had me eating them up there in Alabama. You get around your hand, he gonna get you on them too. Your hand sure didn't look like you been eating none lately though. That dope eating them up. You know, y'all love the Lord? When I saw him, see how when other people see a person, when I saw him the other night, my mind went straight back when he was tearing and crying. God, you have to be in a certain place in God where you don't just see the bad with a person. I went right back there. I said, man, I remember when I boy crying out to God. That's what came to my mind. If I can give God, give me another chance with him. And I remember him crying. He was tearing so hard. And he said, Bishop, why I can't get the Holy Ghost? He said, I want it so bad. I said, man, you got to get all that stuff out your heart. You got to get all that stuff. I remember. Now that's something personal. I was tearing with him alone. He said, I want the Holy Ghost bad. He said, why I can't get it? I said, you got to get all that stuff out your heart. You don't want to just get the Holy Ghost and do the same old thing you doing. And then he felt like he couldn't get it. And he left. Y'all love the Lord? But I believe he'll be back. You believe that, Sister Rose? Yeah, I believe he's coming back. 19th verse, Romans 12 and 19.
Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. Therefore, if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good.
Now, you got to be careful, 1 Corinthians 6 chapter. You got to be careful who you hang around, because you hang around certain people, they're going to pull you. And remember, God said 2 can't walk except they agree. You I actually look at who the saints hang with in the church. Most of the time, I don't know who you get close to in the world because you don't do it in front of me. But when people want to hang around a certain group, family, anything, they show them what's in their heart. Two cannot walk together. You're not finna go up there on the corner and hang around them smoking and drinking and say, I'm saved, y'all can go ahead and smoke and drink. I ain't gonna smoke and drink. You just hang around, we just gonna play some cards together. Man, I don't even wanna play no cards. Cause I remember when I used to play cards before I got saved. Man, whose spirit come on you? What's that? I'm scared that thing gonna come back. I don't play no card. I wait till you put your finger on the table and then take them cards and slam it on the. Get your hand off. I ain't finna go back there. I'm scared of the old me. I'd be seeing them playing cards over there. I'd be walking fast. Let me get around them. Let me get around them. I know what that stuff do. Now, it may not be, I'm not saying it's something wrong with that. What I'm saying is another person, I'm saying, how would it do me? It may not affect you like that. You went into it like that. But I ain't finna, so it ain't bother you like that. But if you used to be slamming them cards on that table cussing, don't think you finna go over that table and you finna just be slamming them cards on the table and go to speaking in tongues. The son of God, what's that guy about that? No, you know good and well I ain't finna go down. I ain't finna go down. Come on, feel God. No, you need to stop it. Everybody got to work out their own salvation. You need to know what you can handle, what you can't handle. You need to know the people that you can be around and you can't afford to be around. There's some people that you be around, all they do is pull you down. There's some people that you be around, all they do is they want you to sin. They want you to be like them. And it's not possible for you to sit here and say, y'all gonna smoke and drink, y'all gonna do that. I'm just gonna sit here and just be hanging around. But you still getting secondhand smoke. They smoking weed. You coming home high anyhow. And smelling like marijuana. But they smoking cigarettes. You gonna smell like you doing. I don't care nothing about you sitting there talking about I ain't smoked now cigarette. If that smoke came your way, you breathe some. And I understand secondhand smoke worse than the first-hand smoke. I don't know how that works. I guess God said you're going to hang around them, I'm going to kill you quicker. You need to know who to cut loose. Because every time you get around certain people, you fail or they make you feel bad. I know the people who make me feel bad, and I don't hang with them. I learned that from Bishop Ross. He said, some people that you always lose. I don't care how good you do with them, you finna lose. Y'all love the Lord? I don't care how good. That's why you gotta have that relationship. So when they go to degrading you, you can't please them. When they go to degrading you, you're supposed to have something to fall back on. If you don't have Jesus, tell somebody you got to keep him number one. If you don't have him at number one, then you're going to feel like your whole world is crumbled because you're dealing with somebody you can't never please. Can never please. They ain't finna determine how my joy is and my happiness is, and misery like company. So what's going to happen? Eventually, they ain't going to like being around you neither. And my happiness ain't determined, by you being happy. As long as I do what I'm supposed to do. One thing I had said to the Lord years ago, my wife was working hard and I was pastoring a church and she paying just about all the bills. And I said, Lord, make a day when I can pay all the bills in the house. She ain't got to pay nothing. I said, bring that day. When I first started pastoring, she working and I'm pastoring. She paying a lot of the bills, and I ain't had the money to pay the bills. I said, Lord, give me that day. I was still ahead, even though she was paying the bills. But Lord knew my desire was to pay the bills, and then He brought me to that place. He brought me to that place because that's what my desire was, where I can pay the bills in the house, and I can still do this. I can do this and pay the bills in the house. What the church is failing at is in money right now. You know, and money actually determines your love for God. You know, ain't no such thing you gonna have money. God don't deal with you about your money. He'll deal with you. One portion of your money ain't even none of your money. 10% of your money belong to God. That's your tithe. And your offering is the only thing that, how much have you given God? So what you giving God is determine how much you love God. You know, you're supposed to, 10% of your money belongs to God. That's your tithe. But the offering is the only money that you give to God is your offering. So if you paid your tithes and you gave 50 cents in offering, and He was worth 50 cents to you this week. You know, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. But you just showing Him how much you love Him. Because you can't say if your tithe $50 and then you gave 50 cents in offering. You can't say I gave $50 and 50 cents because no, you didn't. God said that 10% was His. Okay, you gave 50 cents to God. You said that's how much you worth this week. That's how much you worth this month. Your offering is what you give to God. Tithe, you didn't give it to God. He took it from you. And so what people doing is how much they give. The Lord tell you, it's saints that walk up to me and say, the Lord told me to give you something. But when you hold it 2 or 3 days, it's because you wrestling with it. You holding on to it. Now, how do you get the benefits of giving? He said, let it be the first fruit of thy increase. Not you. That's why we got this cash out. We got all this other stuff. We got all this other stuff so you can hurry and get it out your hand. So, because I want the full benefit. Don't you want the full benefit of I want me giving God, paying my tithes and my offering, and then I'm only go to Proverbs, the 3rd chapter of Proverbs. Y'all tell the Lord thank you. You got to honor the Lord with your substance. That's what you got to do. Proverbs 3 and 9 and 10. What it say?
Look, honor the Lord with thy substance, and with the first fruits of all thy increase. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine.
So you honor the Lord with the first fruit of thine increase. You're supposed to give to Him first. Then you get the full benefit of it. You get your money and then you hold it and you go and do all this other stuff with it. You didn't honor Him first fruit. You want the full benefit of, because honoring God with your money don't always mean you get money back. What's the value of your body getting healed? What's the value of one of your children getting saved? What's the value of having peace in your life? You can't put no price on that. What's the value of you being happy and saved, or full of joy and saved? You know, so God don't always value giving you money back. He can give you something back, and you say, "Man, I don't know, man, I can't put no price on that." That what happened to Junior yesterday. You know, he don't pay no tithe. You pay tithes for him? He pay a tithe? Oh, well, Junior pay his tithe, you know, and so forth. You don't get the benefits of it, except you do it the way God say do it. You know, I don't, and you're dealing with a pastor that don't too much talk about money, because I done seen and been around money preachers And that's the first thing. I don't want a person to think that I'm a money preacher, so I don't talk about it. But you will be cursed if you don't. But go to Malachi 3. You don't pay your tithes, you don't give no offering. It's simple as that. Y'all love the Lord, and you pay what you want and you give what you want, and then God gonna deal with you the way He want to deal. 6th verse. What does it say? Malachi 3 and 6.
For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Even from the days of your fathers ye are gone away from mine ordinances, and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, said the Lord of hosts. But ye say, wherein shall we return?
Now He's saying, now you wanna get close to me. He said, now wherein you will return. Look at the 8th verse.
Will a man rob God?
Now there's a difference in robbing and stealing. When you rob somebody, you do it right in their face. Hey, give me your money. That's robbing. Stealing, you sleep. They'll break in your house while you're gone. That's stealing. Robbing. He said, now, what he's saying, you rob God. He said, you're doing it right in his face. Because you come to church. He said, you rob God. Will a man rob God? He said, steal from God. He said, rob it. Give me your money. Give it to, I want my money. Give me all your money. All your money I got. I got some of your money. Give it to me. Read.
Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? And tithes and offerings.
He said, you robbed me in tithes and offerings. You did it right in my face. You came to the church and you shouted and you spoke in tongues. You put a weapon on me. Read. So he said, let me tell you what I'm gonna do to you.
Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in my house. And prove me now herewith, said the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. And I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground. Neither shall your vine cast her fruit before the time in the field.
He said, the devourer, he said, I will rebuke the devourer. The devourer is the one that's poverty. There's always, you fix something and some break down, you do this and something else go wrong. That's the devourer. And all he do is come the moment you get a little money, he finna take it from you. You get a little extra money, this go wrong. Some of y'all go through cell phones just like it ain't nothing. Rachel just bought a new cell phone and round it with no case. I said, well, I guess you just waiting on it to drop. They put cases on after they drop them. After they drop them. Oh, let me go and get a case. Y'all love the Lord?
Amen.
Any questions? Yes.
So, like, if you want to save up money for, that pastor gonna need money, he gonna need money down the road, so you have a fund going, so then he asks for a certain amount and you give it, so you don't supposed to hold that money?
You actually, you can have money that's put up, but how you gonna know when you need it? Except he say so. Okay, we can. I'm good.